What's up?
Good to go? So
This is the intro, guys. So we forgot to roll on the wide one, so here we go. Part two.
Part
We're still
two.
figuring this out.
Yeah, so it's been a week since the first podcast, and I was so nervous for it to come out and people to watch it, and I think maybe 50 people have seen it, and they're all our friends
I know.
and our parents.
Mom loves it. Good news.
course she
Dad
does.
loves it. I
Shocking.
think those are our biggest fans.
Yeah.
Our mom's been asking for this podcast every single day since she saw like the picture of us doing it on Instagram. So at least we have one dedicated fan out there. Shout out Jan.
Shout out. I know we quizzed our friends about what we said in the first podcast. And actually
They don't
shocking.
know.
Some of them watched the whole thing, which is crazy because it was like an hour and 20 minutes long.
A couple people did, yeah.
Also, I just realized, should we address the fact that we're wearing the same outfit?
Oh, I didn't even know you were going to wear that today.
Shut up. So,
Well, Jackie, the guest who's coming on, worked at Roberta's for, I think, like 6 years.
right.
So we just wanted to pay homage to Roberta's and Jackie
Yeah, exactly.
and try and be cool.
I
I hope
and
she
so
wears the same one. Yeah.
could you imagine if she walked in wearing the same shirt?
Perfect.
So Roberta's is like an iconic, legendary pizza spot that originated in Bushwick.
Yeah.
But now it's like a national restaurant.
Yes.
And they sell it in grocery stores for like $20 a pizza, which is insane for a frozen
I
pizza,
know.
but it is
But it's good.
delicious. Yeah.
And so where's all the Roberta's? There's one in LA. There's one in Japan, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I think so.
That's
We'll have to
crazy.
ask Jackie and get a full scoop.
Well, there's a few in
There's
New
one
York.
Williamsburg.
One in Williamsburg. Yeah, I don't know how many there is. I guess we
Yeah.
should just ask her. But
But the original's right down the street.
right down the street. And they have different, like one of the cool things they do is they have a bunch of different artists come in and design different t-shirts.
They always have the best merch game.
The best merch. If
We're
you're
always trying
ever
to keep
looking
up.
for good merch, go to Roberta's in Bushwick if you're visiting. I always get it as like gifts for friends and stuff.
I know. We're going to have to ask Jackie what her favorite merch is in Bushwick. I
True.
guarantee you she says Roberta's.
I mean, 101 has good merch too, but
We
it's
do.
hard competition.
It is.
Um,
All right, should we jump into some rapid fire questions?
Yeah,
'Cause I
let's
feel
jump
like
into
Jackie's
some-
going to roll in any minute.
let's get going on
What time
some
is it? We got 10
food
minutes.
news, hot takes.
All right. We actually have a segment.
We have a
produced
segment.
It's like a real show.
Oh, God. Abby, one of our producers who's off camera, is going to ask us or give us some hot takes, food news,
Abby's got
topics,
that
and we're
mic
going to react.
hanging, boy. Look at that thing. All right.
That thing's like halfway down your
What we got?
All right, guys, we're gonna do an agree or disagree. Okay. DoorDash has shared that customers that don't tip will receive longer wait times for their food. Agree or disagree?
This is actually an interesting topic, tipping on delivery. So, yes, I definitely think you should tip on delivery. But something that I've always wondered is like, if you order from a place, let's say you're ordering from Taco Bell, and you order a bunch of food, but it's like $20.
Yeah.
And then let's say you order from a place that's like really expensive, but just like the same amount of food. But because the restaurant's expensive, the tip is like way more. So do you tip always just 20%, or do you have like a baseline of like $6 to $8 that you tip on delivery?
I don't know. I mean,
Because if you're ordering sushi, that tip could be like $20 versus if you're ordering Taco Bell, the tip could be like $5 on delivery. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think you also take it in consideration, like, if it's a rainy day, if you're ordering
True.
from somewhere far away,
True.
like,
Yeah.
you know, I think there is just sort of like, it's not necessarily percentage based, but you kind of know what's appropriate. And like,
Right.
you gotta take care of the people who are like giving you your food, you know?
Fully. It's just interesting how it's based on the price of the food when the delivery service is like usually the same.
Well, that's how I feel about when I order drinks. It's like,
True.
I'll tip on a percentage base if it's like, I mean, if it's somewhere that I know and I know everyone working, like obviously you're gonna
Right.
hook them up. Like, but like, yeah, if you go somewhere and you order 2 drinks
Right.
and they're like $18 a piece cocktails, like, are you gonna tip 20% of that? Or are you gonna give them like a couple bucks per drink?
Right. It's an interesting thought. Like if
Yeah.
you order a beer at this bar, the tip is going to be lower than if you order like a $15 beer in the city.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, you gotta tip well. That's
I
one thing
know.
we know from like having service industry friends, no matter what. But like,
Right.
sometimes you're not gonna go, you know. I mean, I don't know, 20%
Yeah.
on a $40 tab. That's 2 drinks. You're looking at an $8 tip for 2 drinks. Seems like a lot, but
I mean, at a
guess
bar,
it
I feel like
depends on what's going on.
I'll always tip 20% at a bar, but like the delivery thing has always made me ponder.
Yeah,
But I'll
true.
always just tip a lot for that too, because I don't want to be a shitty
Yeah.
person.
I think the message is just always over tip, and like if you're gonna
Yeah.
order delivery, you're gonna order delivery. I mean, the thing with delivery that just sucks is there's a lot of restaurants make it more expensive a little bit for delivery because the Uber Eats and all these places will take
True.
like a big percent of the sale.
Right.
So you have like the upcharge, which is like not even really necessarily listed always. Then you have
A
the
service
service
charge.
fee.
Yeah.
And then you have the taxes, then you have the tips. So now like your Taco Bell order, you're like, how is it $35 for a couple of tacos? Like that's how it gets there. Yeah. Yeah, delivery fee. Right, the delivery fee. There's a lot of charges for it. You know,
Yeah,
it's just
so
what it is, yeah.
That's interesting, the longer wait time for not tipping. I mean, I kind of get that. Like, you should be tipping. I just don't know, like, I guess if they're going to base it on, like, how much you tip or just if you tip at all. It would be crazy to not tip at all. Like, obviously they deserve something for the service. But
I get it. I get why they would make you wait longer if you're not tipping.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's just it's the market, basically. Like, you know. If you don't want to tip, then like maybe go get the food yourself, I guess. Yeah.
True.
All right, what else we got?
I agree. Tip.
Yeah.
I guess so. I agree. Yeah. Like you should tip. And if you're not tipping, you got to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
We found from some random article, probably from BuzzFeed or something, your sandwich equivalent to your sign. Okay. So basically, this is also going to be agree or disagree. Does your sandwich that matches up with your sign represent you? Max, you're a Libra, so your sandwich is banh mi.
I would say a banh mi is probably one of my favorite sandwiches.
I love a banh mi. That's a great one.
I hate astrological stuff because like I don't want to believe in it, but for some reason it always ends up working, and I'm like, this is bullshit, dude. Like I just get pissed that it actually is accurate. I'm like, I don't buy it, but why is it so right?
Yeah.
For me at least. So that does add up. I don't know, what's Julia's?
Julia is a Pisces, so her sandwich equivalent is a tuna melt panini.
That's something you like too, dude.
Wait.
And I don't really like tuna melts that much. So
Damn,
like that
that
would have made
is so
sense.
accurate.
Yeah.
I love a tuna melt.
Wow.
Tuna's
okay.
like my go-to sandwich, I would say.
That's
so
pretty good.
That was
truthfully.
good. Dang, okay.
I don't know. You don't have the other sandwiches, do you? I want to know everyone in this room.
Yeah.
Real quick, what's a Taurus sandwich? You got that list right there? I don't know what Spencer's is.
Peanut butter and jelly.
He's vegetarian.
That's true, but it's a vegetarian sandwich. I've actually never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich still.
That's insane.
I was allergic to peanut butter as a kid. Now I'm not. Beat that shit, because I am weak.
Wait, so why don't you just eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
I just never had both of the same.
You just are doing that because you want to
I've
say
never
that
had
you've
a
never
peanut
had.
butter and jelly at
Yeah,
the
I
same time
know.
house.
But
Or
that's
white bread.
why you want to try one because you just want to say that.
When was the last time you had one?
Probably like last year.
No, that's too much. All right, next question. What else have we got?
What restaurants do you think should get a Michelin star this year, and which ones do you think should get a star taken away?
OMG Pizza and Bushwick should get a Michelin star for the best chicken nuggets of all time. And mozzarella. No,
I love you, OMG, but no Michelin star.
You know what should get a Michelin star? Or at least a Babe Commodore in Williamsburg.
Oh.
Just for straight consistency and quality.
True.
Like
they do consistently have the best fried chicken platter that I've had in Brooklyn.
And like because there's the stars like 1, 2, and 3, and then there's like the bib and the plate, right? So like you could be like a little cart like on the side of the road and get like a bib or something. Like they deserve one of those because like they're consistently on
always
point.
good.
Some of the best fried chicken in
the nachos, and the frozen mojito.
Frozen mojito's next level there.
Insane.
What else? Where do you think should get a star?
I feel like I've eaten more in Brooklyn than I have in Manhattan, but I think
biased.
Yeah, I think that Eval, I think is how you say it.
Yep.
Eyval. It's a new. I think it might be. Is it? It's not Israeli. Is it?
It's Iranian.
Oh, it's Iranian. Oh God.
So.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, it's Persian.
Is that? Yeah. That's what I thought.
Okay. Oh my God.
All right. Yeah. I was right.
So yeah, this restaurant, Eval, I think that's how you say it. It's a Persian restaurant in
really
Bushwick.
Good.
It's
Lamb
so
shank, bomb.
good. Yeah.
That's like a Michelin restaurant for sure.
And it's unique. Like, it's one of those places that you don't want to tell people about because it hasn't, like...
Yeah, so let's put it in the podcast and talk
I know. Well, I mean, it is really busy all the time, but it's like... It's not like it's, like, blown up on TikTok where there's a line out the door every single day. But it is, like, always busy.
It is. It's got sort of limited hours, I'll say. It's hard to get in there.
True. But everything there is good. Like, if you like labna and, like, dips and yogurts, oh, my God, it's unreal.
What else? Who should lose a Michelin star? Who has a Michelin star that is like controversial?
Well, wait, why don't you tell them about Oscar?
Oscar. That's yeah. Okay, so I went to from my knowledge, there's only two-star Michelin restaurants in Brooklyn. One of them is actually in Roberta's, where Jackie works.
Oh yeah, true.
Called Blanca. But Blanca's been closed for a while. I'm not sure if they're reopened yet. So, I mean, I haven't been there, but I did go with my buddy Steve because we were like sitting outside of this bar just hammered one time. And we're like, you know what? We both love good food so much. Why don't we make a reservation? So we made a reservation for Aska, and it cost $500 a person to make that reservation. And I was like,
just to make the reservation,
that's how much the whole that's you get the whole thing.
But
it's a tasting menu, and like the next day I was like, that's kind of a lot of money.
Damn.
But like Steve's one of my close friends. You know, we see each other every day, so it was really nice to do that with him, and it was epic. Like,
it's Norwegian, right?
It's Norwegian,
which is so interesting because in my mind, I mean, no hate to Norway, I have very close Norwegian friends, but I feel like Scandinavia is known for having like kind of bland food.
You know,
sometimes.
like the fiskabola, the can of fish balls.
Not my favorite, but I mean, you said it was incredible. Like all the food,
It was amazing. I mean, it was like.
And was it mostly seafood or no?
No, it was like all kinds of stuff. Oh. Like at the very end, Steve ate this cookie, and he like a little tear came out of his eye. He's like, "This reminds me of Christmas with my family." And I was like, dude, you know what? Like, I get it. Like, I'm right there with you. It was so good.
That's like that movie, The Menu.
I know.
It's like it's supposed to like transport you to an experience or a place.
It was really good, and it was really fun. They treated us really well. Like, the sommelier was like from Bushwick. She was cool, and I don't know. We walked out of there full and tipsy, and
I feel like you were in a like true like food coma when I saw you after that.
Yeah, we went to like a birthday party, and everyone was like, "What's going on?" And I was just sitting on the bench like this. And Steve and I were like, time to go home early.
Oh my God.
We had a I mean, yeah.
Oh, there she
is. There's Jackie. What up?
Hi.
Hey. What's going on?
Up?
What's going on?
Like our shirts?
Yeah, that's so cute. Where'd you get them?
Woo.
Let's go.
Ready, set.
All right. We're here with Jackie Carnesi, another friend from the neighborhood, and a longtime Roberta's employee. Also worked at many amazing restaurants and
List them.
What?
Say them.
List them. I was gonna write them all down, but then I was like,
yeah,
I
that's
listened to
okay.
a whole hour-long podcast of you right before this.
Oh my God,
the bagel one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I
You
did know them all
homework.
moments ago, but now I
homework.
forgot all of them.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Wait, which was the bagel one? Why did you tell me about this?
I mean, I just wanted to be prepared, you know. Julia's kind of
my
slacking.
God.
I got pages and pages of notes.
I wanted to
here.
make you look bad.
I wrote down my own questions, and then Max was like, a report about you. I was like, wait, there's not gonna be time for both.
Trying to be prepared. That's all. All right. So, Roberta's for a long time, Nura now, and then some exciting upcoming things in the future, which Julia doesn't know about still. So I kept that a secret.
Max yesterday texted me and he was like, "Oh, I have tea," and I was like, "What is it?" He's like, "Save it for the pod." So I can't wait to hear what it is.
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
But so I kind of wanted to like talk, like have this podcast be a little bit about like how it is to come from like another state to New York City to like being just working like your way up into basically having your own restaurant that's like doing well, successful, like critically acclaimed. So like, why don't we start a little bit from the beginning? Like you're from Texas, right?
Yeah.
Brownsville?
Yeah, Brownsville. Yeah.
Okay.
She's
She's
so caught off guard.
What?
Don't worry about it.
I'm just listening.
No, you look. You're like, how do you know that?
I know.
You look like so shocked. I was like, oh.
I'm just interested. Like, I feel like I'm following along too. I'm like,
Okay. I misread.
Okay, so like, what was the first step into like the food world?
I cooked a lot with my mom. So, and she was a pretty adventurous cook. Like, you know, it was just like was always experimenting with new ingredients, like whether we liked it or not. Yeah. And most of the time it was really good, and sometimes it wasn't. But
were you eating a lot of like Tex-Mex down there or no?
No. Okay, so I didn't really even know what Tex-Mex was. Like it sounds so ignorant.
Well, you were
I didn't
very south.
Very
right?
south. Yeah. So it was like the idea of Tex-Mex just didn't exist. It was just Mex. It was just Mexican food.
Just Mex.
Just Mex. Strictly Mex. Purely Mex. And then when I went to college in Austin, everyone's like, "Have you tried queso?" And
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
I was like, I don't know what that is. And yeah, and like admittedly, Tex-Mex is like not my favorite cuisine.
You don't like a sizzling fajita platter?
Okay, all right. Like,
Yeah.
be real. Everyone loves a sizzling fajita platter.
Also, we were just having this discussion at work the other day. Is queso fondue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, okay,
technically.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right?
All right, we're on the same page then.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of Mex, and then but you're Italian.
Yeah.
So was there ever like a fusion of like? I mean, I know people hate the word fusion, but like
I love the
influence
word
from both.
fusion.
You do?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do too,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, no, we're taking it back.
Yeah.
We're taking it back,
You guys gotta
baby.
convince me
To
on
the
fusion
90s.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the 90s.
Well, I feel like it. I mean, you know better than me, but I feel like there was a lot of fusion food, and then it became kind of like people didn't like it as much, and now it's like almost coming back. I feel like.
I think I might disagree in that I think people are really excited about like celebrating like more pure versions of their own cultures.
Yeah.
You know, like if you look at Bonnie's, I mean, obviously
Right.
that's not like totally traditional, but
Bonnie's
you
is
wouldn't call it fusion by
No,
any
right.
means, right?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I think people are like, it's like a really good time for people to be celebrating their roots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's people like me who just are doing a bunch of
Just do
bullshit.
what you want. Yeah.
But it's cool. I mean, it's a lot of good stuff.
Also, Nura, where you're at, could almost be considered fusion. It's sort of, would you say it's like Indian?
I would say it's
American?
fusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it fusing?
It's Indian and Mexican primarily. There's definitely some like Turkish ingredients used, but mostly Indian and Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Okay.
It's so good. But we'll get there.
We'll get there. Yeah. Let's reel it back to Texas. So
Yeah.
So your mom was cooking a lot and using a lot of like experimental ingredients. And then, so you said you went to college in Austin.
Yep.
And then what'd you go to college for? I was curious.
I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I started out doing psychology.
A classic.
That's what my sister was doing. I was like, whatever,
Yeah.
sure, that
Yeah.
sounds good. And then halfway through, I was like, oh shit, I really love cooking. I was cooking for all of my friends, doing like ricotta and spinach stuffed chicken breast.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I can do this.
Do this shit easy.
And so I was like, you know what? I was like, Mom, I'm gonna drop out of college. I want to go to culinary school. She was like, the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Like you're staying in college.
Really?
So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So at that point, I switched my degree to business admin, which I hated. I really, really, really despise math. I'm bad at
Yeah.
it. Don't ask me
Interesting
any math
choice.
questions.
yeah.
So I did finance and like all of those classes and accounting, which was terrible.
Yeah.
But got through it. Then went to culinary school, and then while I was in culinary school, I went to the CIA in Napa, and they do this thing called an externship where you leave school, you do like whatever, like an internship,
Yeah.
temporary internship. Sorry, a temporary internship, like at the restaurant of your choosing. So I was like, you know what? I don't ever want to live in New York, but
Psych.
like,
Oh my
being,
God.
yeah,
Here we are
but
now.
like being here for 8 months or
Yeah,
whatever it
you
was,
got
I was
hooked.
like, that's a good. I can say I
Right.
did it. I
Yeah.
can experience it, and then like go live somewhere hot because that's where I want to be, somewhere hot.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I 11 years later, it's like,
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
It's hard to leave.
yeah, it's really hard.
8 months
is
is about the
hard.
time too when you start to like finally feel like you're a little bit more comfortable. It takes a little bit of time to get used to the
Right.
New York
Oh
way
no,
of life.
I think out of the last 11 years, I probably hated it for 10.
Really? You just got to having a good time?
I just got there.
What?
Why did you leave so long ago? I mean,
because the culinary scene is too good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you go if you went somewhere else?
That's the thing.
I
Where
know.
would I
Yeah.
go?
That's always the hardest question. It's like New York, even when you're exhausted of it, it's hard to imagine living somewhere else.
It's hard to beat, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that thing, like New York or nowhere, but it's because like there is like it's not because there's just nowhere else.
I know.
Well, it does feel like a real mix of food here. It's like you go to France and they're so into like the French culture. And like there's different kinds of food everywhere, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but you do go to Germany, it's very German. You go to like Italy, it's very Italian. But here it's
Right.
like everything is sort of here, you know, like it's a mix, it's a melting pot.
Well, I was considering Houston for the last
Yeah.
few years because my family's there. Austin's like kind of out of the question.
Sick of
you know,
breakfast tacos?
Nah, it's just
Yeah.
not, it's just like really like the infrastructure can't uphold like the amount of people that there are.
It's changed a lot. Like
it's a new San Francisco.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
thanks Elon Musk and Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Oh well. We're
Seriously,
the new Joe Rogan
my
officially.
heroes. But you know, like Houston, Texas is on fire in general, politically, literally, and then they're like having the worst winters ever.
Right.
And I was like, well, actually, New York is like kind of warming up.
It's getting better here.
Nice.
So it's gonna be the next Miami.
Right.
Yeah, oh my God. So this last year, you think you finally are starting to enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think probably like since I started at Nura.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the big game changer.
All right,
So
well,
was your culinary school experience, was it in like classic French technique or
No,
everything?
it's like everything.
Got it.
Yeah.
So then when you did your like internship or whatever in New York, where was it?
Oh my God, I love this question. I love this question because I hate this question.
I'm nervous.
Okay, so at least I was a big procrastinator. Please don't note that I was 10 minutes late. But
just don't say it on the phone.
yeah. Perfect. I felt that.
Yeah.
So I procrastinated and I ended up at this like club restaurant in Tribeca.
Oh, you were at the club every night.
I was
Like
literally meatpacking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was called Abe and Arthur's, and like coincidentally, the two chefs I was working under there had like left their like big fancy beautiful restaurants for various reasons and had gone there for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Two extremely talented chefs that
Whoa.
so one
Good
was Chris
clubs.
Chipollone, who has a Michelin-starred restaurant in Williamsburg, Francie. It's
Oh
one of
my
my favorite
God.
restaurants.
Yeah.
And then the other one is this guy, Vincent Petrillos, who is, oh my God, I think he's in Charlotte now, but he's also extremely, extremely talented, has like run some amazing restaurants. And those were my two bosses.
That's wild.
It was really wild. It was like right time, right place kind of thing.
So what were your hours? If you were were you like
lot.
literally
Fucked was it like serving food till
Like
4?
18 hours a
Oh
day.
God, dude.
and were you just like literally like having to make food at like 3 a.m.? Like what was the like were they serving all night?
No, they didn't serve all night. I
Okay.
think we were usually out of there by like 2:30.
Wow, that's still wild.
What was the menu
Yeah.
like? Was it?
Oh,
what
it
the
was
food?
like, I'm so glad you asked. It was like tuna tartare tacos, like the little ones.
Yeah.
And
$50
like,
for 3 little tacos.
yeah. And beet and goat cheese salad, like that
Yeah.
kind of thing. But
Oh
I
my
took that shit
gosh.
serious.
I'm
Good.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Did those chefs help you like really learn how it was to be, like did they help you out and not like, was it that sort of like aggressive chef kitchen or were they like cool with you?
No.
Like, were they teaching you, like mentoring you?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. I mean, I worked really long hours there. I mean, for an externship, you typically you only have to work 40 hours a week. I was definitely working more than that.
Yeah.
But they had me do everything. They had me learn how to butcher with the,
Oh, that's cool.
the butchers and the fish guys and work prep shifts and I did everything from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And it was really hard, but it was great and super fun and we partied super hard.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
I feel like that's a wild
Working in
industry.
the club and the meatpacking
Yeah.
industry must be nuts.
Yeah.
All right, so how long were you there, and then what was the next move?
So I was there for 8 months. I moved out here with one of my best friends, Ryoko, who's the head chef at Marlowe and Diner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
And then so then you go back and you finish school.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we graduated, and then we moved back out here together. And
I can't imagine going from spending 8 months working in a club in New York, going back to Napa.
yeah, it
That
was
was wildly different.
it was quiet.
Yeah.
It was quiet. And then I started at this place called Empeon Cocina, working with Alex Stupak, and was there for a year. That's where I worked with Ham.
Oh,
and
Shout out Ham and Sola.
Yeah.
Dream team. Yeah.
TM. Yeah, and worked there for a year. Worked at this place in Soho called Little Prince for a year.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
That's
that place
right?
sucked.
That's still
Sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah. No, it was the chef I was working with was super talented. This guy Matt Conroy, who has a restaurant in DC now, Uchachi. I think that's how you pronounce it.
No idea.
Anyways, it's a French spot.
Yeah.
And yeah, so and then after that I went to Roberta's and I was there for an eternity.
So were you ever? We have a few friends who are chefs, like Jimmy and who like
Sure. Working
work-
high-end restaurants.
Yeah, and it just sounds. I mean, I think everyone knows this. Like, it just sounds so grueling. Just like the schedule, just the whole like environment. Like you're staying up late, but you also have to wake up early, and like you're on your feet all day. Was there ever any point where you were like, oh, I like don't know if I can do this, or the whole time were you like, no, this is like what I meant to do?
Let's see. I think it was when I was at Little Prince, which like I had gone there because I really like I was like itching to help create a menu. And that it was a smaller restaurant, a smaller team, and so that felt like an opportunity to do that. I mean, I was working like, at least like 75 hours a week. I had 3 days off a month for a full year.
Oh my gosh, that is wild.
Yeah. And I was just partying my ass off on top of it.
Yeah.
That's a New York way.
That's how you keep going, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, God, I'm on so much Adderall right now. I guess we should go out. Like,
This podcast is sponsored by Adderall.
dude, my 20s were sponsored by Adderall. But R.I.P. to that girl.
Oh my god. Now she's getting up at 6:30 and going to the gym.
I know. I was also going to the gym at that point. I was a maniac.
You're a gym rat.
I was running like 6 miles, like 4 times a
Do
week.
you surf also? You're kind of a beach
I did in
bum,
high
aren't you, a
school.
little
I did in high school a little bit,
Yeah.
but I was never very good.
Yeah. All right, so you were there.
What was the question?
So you're at Roberta's. Sounds like you like creating menus. What goes into creating a menu? Like, what does it take for like one thing to get on the menu? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Wait. I want to answer your question.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Which one?
Yeah, there was a point where I literally
That's where
thought
we
I
were.
couldn't do it anymore.
Right.
I like went home for a week. I had like burned my arm really bad that year. I don't know, whatever. That's kind of a side note, but I was just exhausted.
Yeah.
Exhausted. Even if I hadn't been like partying my ass off, like I think I would have felt similarly. And I remember sitting at my birthday dinner with my family, and I just started like crying. I was like, I'm so tired. It felt like a Jesse Spano moment,
Totally.
And I remember my older sister being like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like it can't be that bad."
What
like,
was she doing?
Well, she's like perfect, perfect human that like always is always like taking care of herself, and
Right.
She's an older sister.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm sure she was just like, this is my, slack off little sister that like has never really committed herself to anything, and she's just bitching because she probably has a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like over here just like falling apart.
Like, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I mean, that just seems like like so hard, that whole schedule.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine, but
It was really isolating too,
Yeah.
because like I was, in New York and like wanted to date. And like at one point I was dating this guy who is really wonderful. But I could just never saw him.
right.
Yeah,
And
ours
so then
too
I
crazy.
ended up hanging out with like losers that were up at 3 o'clock. in the
Right.
morning.
Yeah. Welcome to Bushwick.
Including myself.
Hey.
Cheers to that.
Hey, to us.
This podcast, by the way, is borderline just about drinking. It's kind of one edge.
So you're like having a breakdown a little
Right.
bit.
Yeah. So back to the breakdown.
Back to the
Yeah.
breakdown.
So how old are you at this point? Like
26?
okay.
That's standard breakdown time.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
I feel like we all go kind of through that at that time. So unless it lasts a little longer.
Ew, me? I was like,
No, I'm
chilling.
kidding.
Chile is still having a crisis.
Yeah.
So you bounce back, though.
But it sounds like that you were really at least able to flex like a creative muscle instead of just like having to grind on like someone else's like menu. You got to like design, like add things to the menu and like kind of create your own. But yeah, you had an interesting question. Like, what does go into that? Is it just kind of like trust from someone that you're working with or the restaurant, or like
into what the
well, say like in a place like Roberta's, right? So like Roberta's is pizza, but then inside it's got this like pretty like amazing refined menu that's always changing, and like I gotta imagine there's new things that go on the menu all the time. Like, what does it take to get just one thing on the menu? Like, who has to approve it? Like, what goes into it? The research.
Well, it just depends on the restaurant. There are a lot of different processes for different restaurants, right? But for Roberta's, it really did take me a while to figure out what it was that made a dish Roberta's.
Interesting.
And like trying to think through the lens of Carlo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what would Carlo do differently? What would Carlo put on this dish? And like referencing a pantry of ingredients that is indicative of the Roberta's menu. So like white balsamic and black pepper and bonito flakes and whatever.
Right.
So you think about their kind of staple ingredients and their flavor profiles.
And how did you end up there? Was it someone like brought you on, or you wanted to work there?
I actually did a really short stint after Little Prince at this place called Back 40 West.
What's that?
It's like considered it doesn't exist. It's a dig-in now.
No. Oh my God. A dig?
Dig, yeah. That's called now.
Oh, is it?
It's just dig.
So
Yeah.
So I was gonna say I was at Dig In.
Yeah.
I was at Back 40 West literally for like 4 months. It was considered like one of the first farm to table restaurants. Peter Hoffman was the chef, and he's really credited for a big part of that, at least in New York. But it wasn't the right place for me. Yeah, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And the guy I was dating at the time told me that Roberta's was hiring.
Oh.
And I was like, there's no fucking way they're gonna hire me. There's no way, or like it's way too cool, and I'm not talented enough. And then they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you apply? Did you just like go in? Did you know
That
somebody who
was
sent
like
a resume?
10 years ago.
Yeah.
I know
I don't remember.
it's wild
True.
how long it has been around. So that would have been like 2012 or something.
Sorry, that was like 2015.
Okay,
when I applied. Mm-hmm.
When did Roberta's open? Like 2012 or something? 2011?
I know that answer.
You do?
No, I don't.
Oh,
know.
you don't know.
Don't worry
I mean, who
about
knows?
that.
Yeah.
2009,
Right.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's been around for a while. Roberta's, for anyone who's listening to this who doesn't know, is sort of like this staple pizza spot that's been around in Bushwick for a while, and I don't know.
A number of years.
A number of years. Some
X
amount
amount
of
of
years.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Hard
it's
to say.
like
No one could really say for sure how long it's been open.
Oh,
January
okay. You're
2008.
close.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a great spot, and like it's cool to talk to somebody who's been in the kitchen for so long, because it's such a staple in our world a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's still cool, like despite the fact that like there's like tourists that go there, and so it's still fun to hang out there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's got a
it's
good
true.
vibe.
Yeah.
They've kept it going for a long time. How was it working there? That must have been like a little
was
bit
awesome.
of a party scene.
It was
Yeah.
fucking awesome
Yeah.
and terrible. It was like the best and worst thing that ever happened.
In what way was it like the best and then the worst?
I mean, it was the best in that it was just like such a central location for meeting like powerhouse chefs, like
Yeah.
super talented chefs that were all alcoholics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. That sounds about right.
I mean, that's
Roberta's.
actually a
Yeah.
pretty general statement about chefs, but
Yeah.
like maybe like a little bit more aggressively so.
Yeah. And then, just for my own curiosity, so was Blanca open the whole time, or was that like after?
That was after. It started out literally as like a table or a couple of tables inside Roberta's that they would
Got
do a
it.
tasting menu out of the back kitchen. The back kitchen being like where they produce all the food that is not pizza,
Yeah.
right? So it's literally in the back of the restaurant.
Yeah.
Right.
It's that shitty little rat hole.
Right.
That
So
I spent so many beloved years in.
yeah, so Blanca, like again, for anyone who's just listening to this, is this restaurant basically in the back of Roberta's in this sort of like side, like it's like in the middle of where the storage is, I feel like, or something. They have this kitchen that has 2 Michelin stars, right? Am I wrong in that?
It doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, it's just
Right.
gone. Okay, R.I.P.
But
Blanca.
no, it had 2 Michelin stars. But yeah, it is in that tucked away in the back of the garden.
It's just so crazy that a restaurant that wasn't even was started just as a tasting menu all of a sudden had 2 Michelin stars. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't all of a sudden, but like that's pretty amazing.
Do you know how they get those stars? Like, do you know how people get Michelin stars in general? Like, is it just like sort of
Is this
secret?
a trick question?
No, the guide comes out today.
Is it just like you
you
really
probably know that?
Like you really just don't know,
Yeah.
right? Like somebody just shows up and eventually just makes a list.
You know, that kind of thing used to be really important to me. And like, especially at the beginning of my career, I was like, oh my God, I've got to work at a Michelin starred restaurant.
Right.
I've got to make tweezer food. I've got to do that.
Yeah.
And then I just realized like, I don't.
Over it.
Yeah, I don't
Fully.
care about
Yeah,
that. I almost never even like want to eat that food,
Right.
type of food. Like, because a lot of times it's so overwhelming and, you know, just like you leave and you're like, God damn, I'm hungry and I spent a lot of money. And like some people do it so well. Like I said, Francie and Blanca was like such a great example of a restaurant that did it so well.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times I just find I'm like, just like uncomfortable. I get in there and I'm like, I don't feel like I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
It's a little too
here.
stiff.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, it's like that movie The Menu came out, which was obviously like an exaggeration, but there is like some elements of truth to that of like just how intense it can be. And then I feel like you're more concerned about enjoying the experience than actually enjoying it.
Or
Like
even just acting right in like a crazy tense
Right.
place.
Well, I think that was like one of the biggest takeaways for me from Roberta's was that like you can do both. You can make really good food, but you can be wearing like booty shorts and like
Totally.
and like high-fiving your friends and having a great time.
Taking
and
shots in the back.
taking shots in the back. Or be sober. But, unrealistically. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like you can have a great time and make great food that you're really proud of and people are really enjoying.
right.
And not take yourself so seriously.
Totally.
Because even Blanca, I don't like it was serious, but like
Right.
it was also a party.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and you get like the customer feels that vibe too. Like it translates to like everyone in the place when
the
like the
staff's
staff
having fun.
exactly
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
makes such a difference. I feel like, yeah. So and then how long were you there for?
6 years. So
Oh wow.
yeah, towards the end of it, I was in the pandemic. They had me open a burger
Yes,
spot.
burgies.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say we can't skip over burgies.
Right.
I remember seeing you sitting in
The
there like
highlight of
stressed
my
out on the
culinary
computer. I
career.
was like, what's going on here?
I don't remember that.
I mean, our friends went, but
I went there, yeah.
it was
good.
I mean,
just
it
hard
was
'cause
literally just the Roberta's burger.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was
Right.
great.
it was just during it opened during or right before COVID or how did during
Yeah,
that's
and it was
so
also
tricky.
kind of like it was a
In
little bit of a
Assland.
Yeah.
you weren't really gonna. You're not walking past that place, ever.
Right.
Like you would have to like take a special trip to go.
I had high hopes because it was like literally next door to the Vans skate park.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know, maybe.
And
Yeah.
was it over there by where Mission Chinese was?
Yeah, but in a worse spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, you were there for a little bit. How long was that project? That was like a few months, maybe.
I mean, I left Roberta's before it had closed.
Right.
I think it was open maybe like less than a year.
Because you were like really running the operation, weren't you? Kinda like.
Yeah, but it was like pretty. I mean, it was
Just
it
making
was like
burgers, I
yeah,
guess?
making burgers and a
Yeah.
lot of takeout, and it's
Right.
you know
Right.
You
Yeah.
weren't trying to.
and it wasn't really even that busy because it was
COVID,
aforementioned
middle of
in
Yeah.
the weirdest spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I got on Craigslist.
Wait.
and it was like one of the reasons I left Roberta's was because it was just like so many different restaurants and kitchens, and like even within like the Roberta's Bushwick compound, it's like
Right.
6 different kitchens.
Because they're making like the frozen pizzas out of that place too, aren't
yeah,
they?
there's
They
the
distribute?
bakery, frozen pizza, takeout, back kitchen, pizza kitchen.
Oh my god.
And doing, scheduling for like 4 different kitchens. It was
Right.
kind of
That's a lot.
And they have like weddings that happen there randomly and
yeah,
crazy-
catering
Right.
also.
Yeah.
So and like people are spread across all of those different departments. So you're constantly like bartering your cooks with other chefs
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of like, I just kind of like want to cook some food
Yeah.
and like get back to the basics. So I got on Craigslist and it was like Otis in Bushwick is hiring. And I was like,
Great restaurant.
which
So
was
good.
wild. I
Yeah.
had never heard of it. I mean, it's half a block from the Morgan Owl.
Right.
I know.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I looked up, I was like, oh, this place is super cute. I was like, this, it's like 60 seats. So that's kind of like exactly what I want to do. I want like a smaller restaurant, one where I can be like really hands-on. And went and interviewed with them, and they're like, we're hiring for a spot in Greenpoint. And I was like, God damn it.
Oh
Like,
my God.
I don't want to commute to Greenpoint.
trying to stay
Yeah.
closer.
Yeah. I was like, I love a 10-minute commute,
Right.
you know? And they're like, well, and they're like, and it's an Indian restaurant. And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
But they're like, come check it out. So I walked into this space and I was like, oh my God, this place is gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what like pushed me to make the decision to take the job, but both the owners, Scott and Michelle, were like super warm, and they pretty much let me do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And I'm
So-
so happy you did, because it's so
really
good.
good.
It's one of my favorite, for sure, one of my
Yes.
favorite restaurants in all of
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
Nura, for anyone who hasn't been, is like stunning, by the way. Like just walking in, it's got that kind of big warehouse vibes. There's plants everywhere.
It's like cozy though.
Yeah, it's just cool. Like it just feels cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They got
What?
Michelin? They
Oh,
do.
They
there you
definitely
go.
deserve it.
You're like, oh, okay,
Can you
I'm okay.
imagine?
This is how you find out.
the
Surprise.
best podcast ever.
Right. So, was the place built when you saw it, or was it just like the empty raw space?
It was partially built, so like the banquettes were in there, and
Yeah.
it was mostly built out. So like the kitchen was fully built.
So I gotta imagine these guys from Otis spent a ton of money running this place, building it, and they're finding their head chef on Craigslist.
Yeah, wait, that's
How did that
crazy.
happen? Like, and you just responded, and they're like, "This is perfect."
It worked.
I mean, it's just amazing. Like, that's sick that that it all came together like that, right? I mean,
I know, it's wild.
yeah.
So then were they like, so they're like, okay, this is going to be an Indian restaurant, but then did you come in and design the whole menu, or like how did that work?
So I was like, I really don't have experience with Indian food, and they were like, okay, well, just like kind of pitch us something. And so I like started, doing my research and seeing like how many, like there were just so many parallels between Mexican food and Indian food. And I was like, oh, well, this like really does make sense to me in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I made this fusion menu,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Yeah.
And
It's so good.
Thank you.
I mean, the best breads and dips in the
I know.
world.
I can't take credit for the bread. That's all our pastry chefs say.
And isn't there a what do you call it?
Tandoori?
Yeah.
yeah, there's a tandoori.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Get
But I mean,
fresh
the
naan.
entire menu is just like unreal.
Yeah.
But so then, I mean, at this point, it's been, how long has it been? 2 or 3 years?
It's we just celebrated our 2-year beginning of October.
Congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, here's the.
He's itching.
Here's
I
the
can see
new
it.
team.
Oh my God, I want the,
All right.
I want the new
So,
tea.
Jackie, you could make the announcement, but you're not going to be in there.
I'm
for all
leaving
that.
Nura.
Oh, and guess what it's going to be? Where are you going to
Alert
go?
the Michelin Guide, okay? There we go.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
Thanks, Spencer.
You can say it.
Wait, you're going to Kellogg's Diner?
I'm going to Kellogg's Diner.
Taking over Kellogg's.
Yeah.
Wait, is it staying Kellogg's or you're,
It's staying Kellogg's.
Yeah.
wait, so you're just, they're bringing you in and you're just going to like redo everything?
Yeah.
Okay, so
That
there's
is
a lot of history
wild.
with Kellogg's, right? It's sort of
Yeah,
Greek,
it's like
right?
90.
Wait, first of all, I've never been there, so I don't,
You never been to Kellogg's
I
Diner?
know.
I had never been to Kellogg's Diner
What?
until I got this project.
Oh my God. Well, it's been around for
maybe
100 years.
that's like my fucking
Yeah.
trend. It's like I don't go to restaurants
Yeah.
and then I
You
start
just
working
walk
there.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what this is about. Can I have the job?
do you-
Oh my God.
How did you get this job, first of all?
Craigslist.
No.
No.
Oh my God.
Like, I got to get on Craigslist.
No, it's kind of a wild story, and it really attests to like how wonderful the owners of Nura are, Michelle in particular. So Nico, who designed Nura, is going to be designing Kellogg's,
Oh.
and
Oh my God, I'm so excited for that.
yeah.
The outside too, or just the
No, the outside's staying the same.
Okay.
So like all that beautiful chrome trim is staying the same.
Yeah.
The sign's staying the same. The logo's the same.
I mean, it's a very like iconic. So Kellogg's it's a diner in Williamsburg, but it has a very iconic diner look on the outside.
And it's been there for how many years? Like almost 100 years.
Yeah,
right?
almost 100 years. Like
Yeah.
96
What?
or something.
Yeah.
96,
Like 95
92?
years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, initially they were just looking for a consulting chef, and Nico, with Michelle's permission, threw my name in the hat, and I was like, yeah, I really want to do that. I really that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
And so it was just going to be for a couple of months. And then like the more that I stared at it in the face, I realized like, this is a massive project.
Yeah.
This is a massive, massive project. Like a 90 item menu.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Like including like desserts and everything. And that's like a pared down version of like what the original menu was.
Oh my God.
It's
This
like
is
classic
like
diner where there's like a million pages.
Right.
In there. Yeah.
yeah. So theoretically, 90 items is 1 page and 1 page of desserts.
Oh my God.
So is it gonna be a diner, I guess? first
Yeah,
and
yeah,
foremost?
absolutely.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I gotta tell you.
keep going.
So,
Yeah.
so then Michelle one day was just like, she's like, you should just go to Kellogg's. And I was like, am I getting fired? And she was like, no. She was like, it's just a great opportunity for you. And my sous chef, Tajay, who's going to be taking over Nura, like she needed that space, you know, and like she couldn't move up if I was there, and she deserves to be running her own restaurant,
Right.
Because she's immensely talented and one of like the most level-headed chefs I've ever worked with. So she's gonna be moving up at Nura. I'm super Tajay Porter.
Shout out.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her, and I'm gonna be going to Kellogg's for at least a year. And I'm super stoked about it.
That's exciting.
So it is first of all, congrats.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to go now.
Yeah.
So it is still a diner menu. And did you say it used to have a Greek influence or no?
Well, the people, from what I understand about Kellogg's Diners, was Greek owned, and then the owner like passed away a few years ago, and his wife has been running it, Irene.
Oh, okay.
And she's been running it for the past like 3 years. Like, and he passed away a little bit like young, I think. So this is sort of
sad.
like, and she took it over as like this mother of like 4, and I think it's just probably been a lot for her to handle it. But I know
it's changed hands a few times, but
Yeah.
most recently, this guy named Luis purchased it.
Okay.
Like when it closed recently.
So even like very recently.
Very recently.
Got it. Okay.
And he's the one who brought me on.
I see.
He has a number of diners. His story is also incredible.
Next guest.
Yeah. yeah. Luis, he started out like moved here and had, he was like 14, started out as like a delivery boy type thing at a restaurant, and essentially like moved his way up, and now he has like, I don't even know, like 7 diners.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All in New York?
Yeah.
Do you know what
Whoa.
are some of the other ones that he has?
Capelia.
Okay.
There's one called Old John's, and I honestly don't know the rest.
Like, I know, I'm trying to think of Capelia. I'm not even sure. So
It's in the city.
Yeah.
I've been there before, but it was like years ago.
so he started from delivery guy. Now he's
That's amazing.
Big boss.
taking over Kellogg Diner.
Big boss.
Yeah.
So what are the like hours going to be if it is a diner? Is it going to be like all day into the
It's
night?
still going to be 24,
It's 24 hours.
7, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Which
that
is great.
wild.
Yeah.
I mean, great for the
That's
location,
amazing.
I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Eventually they're going to have there's like a whole rooftop.
There's a rooftop at Kellogg.
Yeah.
Oh my
shit.
God.
Yeah.
That's
There's,
wild.
Yeah. So
You gonna put
they're
seats
like,
up there?
yeah. The goal is to like have multiple operating bars, like maybe like a private event space, and like maybe host shows on the roof, like
Yeah.
that type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to get a smoker so I can smoke my own brisket.
Oh my
hell
God.
yeah.
That'd
Which
be
is the
incredible.
most exciting
Yeah.
part.
Well, the last guest that we had on, Kareem, has been doing comedy shows in the back room of
Oh
Kellogg
yeah,
Diner.
yeah. You know what? You're not the only person who's told me about this guy.
Yeah.
I need to meet him.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I can't believe you
Yeah.
guys, it seems like you guys would have met, but that's,
I know.
yeah. Wait, so that's so exciting.
So you're gonna do smoked brisket. What else is gonna be on the menu? You're gonna redo this 90 item menu.
So, I don't know how controversial this is going to be, but it's actually going to be
Let's get it.
a Mexican Tex-Mex menu.
Oh,
Circle.
Yeah. when they asked me to do that, I was like, fuck yes. Like,
Wait,
absolutely.
amazing.
Okay.
No
But
wonder
still
why you
diner
want
food.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Is
That
there
makes
gonna
sense
be
why
like
you would have
like eggs and
brisket.
stuff in the morning, like that kind of classic like?
No, we're not doing any eggs, actually.
Wait,
Are
actually,
you fucking with me? I know. Deviled
Yeah,
eggs.
of course we're doing eggs. Yeah, no, we're doing eggs, but I also like, I'm really stoked about doing like South Texas, like breakfast tacos, which are just like
Yes.
massive, and like the tortillas are like see-through.
Yeah.
I haven't nailed the recipe yet. I need to get more fat into them. But
we have been talking about just like the Texas breakfast tacos and how good they are
years,
and how
yeah.
no one has them around here for so long. I'm so stoked about that.
Yeah, I mean, Yellow Rose does a really good version of them
Okay.
too, and but there are very few places that do them in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprisingly. Will a lot of the menu items that are on there, that huge list, remain somewhat similar, like in terms of like classic breakfast things, or is it all going to be redone completely?
I mean, there's still gonna be like waffles and pancakes and stuff like that, but like I'm gonna do like masa pancakes and stuff like traditional and
Yum.
There'll be a couple of things that don't really change. Like the waffle, I was like, I don't know, how much masa can I put on this
Right.
menu?
Right,
You know, I was
yeah.
like, I'll just leave the waffle. But that was like one of the things I struggled with when I came onto this project. I was like literally like polling the service staff and some of the regulars. I was like, all right, what's your favorite thing on the menu? Like, what can't I get rid of? You know, and people were like, the penne alla vodka. And I was like, okay, actually, never mind.
Oh my God.
You know?
Wait, so it's going to be like, because if it is 24 hours, are you going to have like the dinner food on there too? Or is it going to be like breakfast focused?
So
like,
there are multiple menus. There's like a brunch menu. There's the all day menu. Oh
my God.
I guess also all night menu. But there's like, you know, a section for like breakfast food. There's a section for like more daytime entrees.
Yeah.
There's the side section, the soup and salad section.
Soup and salads.
oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah, but we're shooting to open late January, which
Wow,
is
that's not
my
far at
God.
all.
I fucking know.
It's like
No way.
2 or 3 months away. Oh my
Well,
God.
so they're gonna redo the inside. They're gonna like is it open right now? Even?
It's open right now. They actually did change the menu over to reflect like it's more along the lines with the other diners that Luis owns.
Okay.
And it's quite good.
Yeah.
It's really good. But it's more like, you know, a classic like spread of diner food. So there's like pot pie, and there's also like shrimp and grits, and then there's
Right.
also like the penne alla vodka.
Yeah. The penne alla vodka. They're not letting that go, huh?
I really like personal
God.
vendetta.
How did the like OG people who have been there for a long time feel about just the whole change? Are they cool with it? Like,
I think Luis is doing it in the right way, and that he's like doing it in stages and like really giving people like time to understand the transition.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, like as much as it's important to like try to like really make sure that those people feel happy and comfortable and whatever, like the restaurant was failing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, before Luis took it over,
Right.
it was really like, you know, you talked about Kellogg's Diner, you're like, oh yeah, that food sucks.
Yeah.
You know?
This will be an amazing new moment for it. I feel like it's going to blow up now that you're going to be there with the new
scared.
menu.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be amazing.
so what are they gonna do on the inside? They're gonna make it like diner looking, or is it? Gonna
I
be totally
honestly
different?
don't know. Every time I
Yeah.
talk to Nico, the designer, he's like, he just talks to me about like the color of the terrazzo on the floor and like nothing else. And I'm like, it's green. All right, there's some green there.
Yeah.
But I trust him. He's got like an incredible eye for design.
It's going to be beautiful and delicious.
Should we hit some rapid fire things real fast? Like
Sure.
5
Okay.
clapped in.
I have 3 rapid fire
Okay,
questions.
I'm ready.
Okay. Little stinker or bee sting?
Little stinker.
Okay, I like
Whoa,
that.
alright.
Yeah.
I'm a beast guy, but whatever.
Okay, smash burger or like regular size burger?
Oh, depends on the occasion. I'm gonna say smash.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And then last one for me, pancakes or waffles?
Neither. I'm a savory breakfast girl.
Savory crepes, maybe. All right, fine. All right, I got a couple too. Microwaves, yay or nay?
Yay.
Yeah, I feel like microwaves are coming like back in the.
I
food
mean,
a little
not professionally, but
Yeah.
every single mom needs a microwave.
True.
I mean, I'm looking at like David Chang on TikTok.
Oh,
and he
well,
uses a microwave for everything.
We
like,
sell that product.
What's the product?
David Chang has a product. I forget what it's called, but it's like a bowl that you're meant to cook things in the microwave in. We sell it.
It's a glass bowl.
It is. That's literally what it is. Yeah.
All right. Pineapple on pizza.
That's so good. David Chang is so smart.
Oh my God. I know.
Yes.
Agree.
Yes. Okay. Let's see what else I got. Plant-based meats.
I don't have enough experience to say yes or no.
Fair enough.
They serve a purpose.
I don't know. What about fancy cocktail bars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, as much time as I've spent in dive bars, I'm really such a snooty bitch now.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite fancy cocktail bar?
Attaboy's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Maison Premiere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, I have a
classic.
question.
Yeah.
Gin or vodka martini?
Vodka.
Interesting.
Vodka, a whisper dirty.
What's
Okay.
a whisper?
Like
What's
just
that?
a little bit of olive juice?
Well, all right. I'm not that cool. All right.
That's like kind of a Roberta's thing, actually.
Is it?
It is a Roberta's thing, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's where we learned about Bud Ice, which
Yeah.
is ice and Budweiser with a lemon. That's where Roberta's thing.
Specialty.
All
Yeah,
right.
there's like a whole vernacular that came out of Roberta's. But yeah.
All right, I don't have much else, but I just wanted to like give you a sec to shout out any of your friends. I feel like you got a squad of like chef friends, like you know, like Yara's out here doing Hell
yeah,
Bender,
fuck yeah.
and you got Sola, and I don't know, like, is
Or-
there anyone you want to highlight?
Or just anything you want to shout out.
Yeah,
that
or anything
people
you
should
want to
look forward
share?
to.
Yeah, I mean, we did the Kellogg's hype, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many phenomenal female chefs in New York City right now. I mean, have always been,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But like, I feel like there's this like wave of chefs that I really admire, like Yara, obviously Sola, like you just said. My friend Ryoko, who I mentioned earlier, is running Marlowe and Diner. And then Tajay, my sous chef at Nura, just incredible chefs.
Shout out everyone.
Shout
guys
out
are taking
everyone.
over.
Shout out Telly at Hags. Shout out, you know. Like,
Love it.
I actually
mic
do
gets
this
like this.
dinner for female chefs in New York that I'm trying to plan another one right now. It's really hard
Yeah.
to do at this point of time in my life. But yeah, it's usually like 50 women and
Oh
we
my
get
gosh.
together.
50?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Seriously. And this next time, I mean, like the list I have just keeps like growing and growing and
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
But like, cause people like want to nominate, you know, or bring friends or whatever.
Right.
Nominate sounds so official. They want to bring fucking friends.
I mean, 50
yeah.
people, you're getting for
Yeah.
that's
I don't
official.
even.
Yeah.
I don't even know like where you could do that.
The first one we did it in Queens at a Korean restaurant, and then the last one we did it at Marlowe and Sons.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
It was really fun.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember at your birthday at Turk's Inn, I was like shook by how much food was there. I was like, you must know every
That
chef
was
in the whole.
Fucked up.
It
I felt bad. There was so much food.
was like everyone who works at every cool restaurant
Oh my
brought
God.
like a
Food,
huge
yeah.
spread. I was like, this is amazing.
God.
Yeah, that was a fun party.
That was a good one.
yeah.
Nice to have chef friends.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming. And
fun.
shout out to your next journey at Kellogg's Diner. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Oh, one more thing. My last day at Nura is the 21st. I'm going to be doing a pop-up. I don't know what the menu is yet. Probably Mexican food.
Nice.
Maybe some brisket tamales. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Is there going
But,
to be reservations? Can people book
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
to that?
Buy tickets, that kind of thing. But
Cool.
it's going to be a party.
Amazing. Well,
So-
cheers to that.
Yeah.
Cheers. They're all gone.
Thank you. I know.
All right.
Awesome.
It's a
Thanks,
wrap.
Jackie.
Right?
Feel good?
You good? Oh, Julia, come on. What about this soup?
All right, Buggy, bully me.
It burns.
Shut the fuck up.
Baker, please like and subscribe to this
Please.
podcast so we can keep doing it. So
Oh,
Alex
so Alex,
Bellows doesn't cancel
the
us.
CEO is watching this. If you don't
Yeah.
subscribe, we're toast. So please.